Hello and welcome to Niche with Diksha. Today I have another amazing guest, Janaki Pun, who is co-founder of DYG community and also the co-founder of Himnat. Welcome to Niche with Diksha, Didi.
Thank you very much for having me, Diksha. We've already started. We're laughing and smiling, so I can't wait to have the full conversation with a lot of joy. So,
yeah. I have always said that you have like a very positive and calming energy. I want to know, do you have any daily rituals that help you to keep centered?
Well, thank you firstly for saying that. I'm not sure if I'm always, calm and if I'm always like positive, but I do try. And I think one of the thing or the practice that I do on a daily basis is just sort of gratitude prayer before I go to bed. The other thing that I do is journaling. That keeps me sort of, I don't know, it lets my, whatever is in my head, so I'm able to kind of like pour it all down and sort of lightens me a little bit and gives me a little bit of clarity as well. So it's just, so everyday things like that, probably small things.
I want to know which prayer is it today?
The prayer that I just created myself. So, like,
can you tell us a little bit about it?
Essentially, just to say, like, thank you, God. Thank you for this beautiful day today. Thank you for keeping us alive and healthy, and thank you for all the love and blessings that's around us. And then I include basically, if I meet somebody on the day, and I'm grateful that I met this person today, or I'm grateful that my sisters, are there looking after my Dija. So, I basically add everything that's happened throughout the day. Or it could even be, I'm grateful that I was able to do this for a patient today. So things like that. Just simple, like daily things.
What is positive mindset to you, Didi?
I think for me, it's already having that mindset that not everything is good. Not everything is going to go on my way. There are certain things that's, beyond my control, but, I will try and sort of do things that I can change or, the way I react. So I think it's just having that, but also being able to sort of, take every day as it comes. Having that, I think it's just taking every day with calmness and a bit joyful, finding sort of, joy in every little thing that I do. And I think just being kind and I think that's what positive mindset means to me, yes.
Okay. I want to know, Didi, what made you start journaling?
Well, to be fair, I started journaling when I was back in Nepal. 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yeah, so 15 years ago. Wow. So I was, after my schooling, I think. I don't know, like, actually what motivated me, or I don't remember anyone telling me that journal, or, basically I used to have a diary, and then I would basically just write down what I did today, it would just be as simple as like, let's say I had a fight with my sister, or, like I went for a walk, or I went to school, or I went to college. And so I kind of sort of carried on. And I used to be very sort of like journaling on a daily basis. And, even when I came to UK in, I think, 2007, I brought all my journals, and it was like piles of them. But then I just thought like, there's so many things, like, if there were things like, I have fancied this boy, or, things like that. So, there were a lot of secrets around there as well. So I sort of got rid of quite a lot of them because I thought, it was just taking up place. But yeah, so I don't know, like, it just made me feel better. Like, if there are quite a lot of things going in my head, and if I journal it down, so at first it'd probably be like, I feel like this, and I'm not sure as to why I'm crying right now. And I would even cry when I'm journaling. Yeah. But it kind of, I felt a bit lighter. And also sometimes, it gives a little bit of clarity to say, like, actually, it's not as bad as I'm sort of thinking right now. Or maybe, and sometimes it also kind of gives me a little bit of solution. So, as I write down, then I sort of start thinking, maybe I could have reacted this way, or maybe I could do this and that. So So I think it just made me feel better. So that's how I kind of like practiced even more. And I feel like as I've grown older, I think I've found it even more valuable.
Do you recommend anyone to journal?
Yes, definitely. And you should journal in Hemnath journal.
Of course.
No, but literally since we started Hemnath journals, this was like about 3 years ago. Since then, I've had all my Hemnath journals. Basically, it's all blank. So I love like blank journals. So which is why, you know, we and Ramuna as well. And so because you don't have to follow a certain structure. You know, like when you buy diaries, it has like dates and times and Monday, this to that. And so with like blank journals, you can sort of plan your day in your own way. You know, it doesn't have to be so structured. And that's how I like my day to be as well. So, but definitely I would recommend like, that's like one of the things I would recommend to anybody. And not that everybody would find joy in that or everybody might enjoy it. But, you know, there's no harm in trying and, you know, you might actually end up doing it on your on a daily basis.
Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to do journaling as well, but I just cannot cope with it. Like I do journaling 1 or 2 days and then the next day I forget.
Yeah.
I forget everything.
Which is fine. You know, like especially after having Dija. So I don't have much time. So before, when I was single, like when I wasn't a mom, you know, I would have my time every day. So like my journaling times would be mainly like before bedtime. So then I sort of empty my mind and go to sleep peacefully. But so since becoming a mom, finding that time is very difficult. So, but I still try and sort of, you know, once she goes to sleep, that's the time that I kind of find my sort of quiet moment. And that's when I do the journal. And it doesn't even have to be, if you can make it a structured journal, that's even great. But even if it's just like, you know, today I did this and today I felt this and, you know, I would love to feel this way and that way. So it's just, you can just write down anything. Like, you know, because you have so many thoughts in your head.
Throughout the day.
And so rather than just keeping it all there, if you just pour it in the journal, your journal will listen to that, accept that.
I think this is why you are so calming.
I don't know. I try, but yeah.
Yeah. I want to know, Didi, how do you stay calm and grounded when life feels overwhelming?
So I think first thing is, it is difficult. First thing is actually knowing what's... I sort of try and look for the reason as to why I'm feeling overwhelmed. If this is anything to do with like personal life, if it is to do with like my working, you know, life, or if it's to do with Dija. So I think it's just trying to identify what's making me feel like that. And if it is something, you know, personal, then I obviously, you know, try and share that with Dinesh, my husband, my sisters, my families, you know. So I sort of try and be as open as I can be. And I am very open. So, and the other thing is, the journaling. So, and whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, I literally have my tears running down and I journal down everything. And the other thing that I find very helpful is like going out for a walk in the nature. Nature like heals me. Like I just need to see that greenery, little bit of water, lake. That's it, fresh air, and it helps me find clarity. So nothing big.
That's fine, Didi. Has becoming a mother shaped the way you see positivity?
Yes. I think becoming a mother shapes you in very sort of, you know, in many different ways. But I think how I see positivity is it's not to say that, you know, you want to have a difficult time and you can't find positivity in that. So, for example, if my child is throwing a tantrum, you know, it is difficult to find positivity in that moment. It does sort of test your patience, but also I think it's just understanding why they're doing that and understanding and knowing that they're in that phase, or, you know, I think, and in that specific moment, it is difficult, but I think it's just trying to just let her be, okay? And as long as she's safe, it's okay. And I think sometimes positivity can be just that, knowing that, okay, she's safe, let her do what she wants to do. You just sort of keeping an eye on her. I think things like that after becoming a mother can be a positive mindset, I think.
When some moments really test your patience, and how do you bring yourself to calm?
Oh yeah. So we just talked about it. So once, like, I could just give you a quick example. Like once, so Dija, so after, she saw me cleaning the toilet, so like with the toilet brush, putting the liquid in, she wanted to do exactly the same. And and she was literally going with the brush and then proper, like, just going inside the toilet. And I was like, oh my God, Dija, don't do that, please, no. And then she just went and she did it. And she was just like, basically the water was all over. And then I got a bit like, oh my God, this is Dija. And then I kind of shouted at her. And that was actually, I think, the first time I properly shouted at her. And then, like, she was a bit like, she went a bit quiet. And then, like, afterwards, I felt so bad. Like, I cried. Because I felt guilty. So I think as mom, you feel guilty,
you feel
like
guilty,
whatever you do. So I felt guilty at that point, and I was a bit like, oh my God, like, okay, let me just take a breather. So I just went to say I said, okay, I'm sorry, Dija, but do you know why Mama is upset? And she knew exactly, and she was like, yes. And then I try and speak to her in Nepalese, so she's like, yes, Molly toilet brush kore, so she's like, because I brushed the toilet.
God.
So she knew. And it's just, and even just for her to realize that, it's like, oh my God, she actually knew why I was upset.
She's so smart.
And then like, it just made me even more feel guilty about it. And I apologized to her. So that's the first thing I did, that I kind of realized, okay, maybe I shouted and, I shouldn't have raised my voice. And the next thing is she knew why I was mad. And then I went to apologize to her.
Again?
Like, basically, I said sorry that I, shouted. And then we're like, okay, give hug to each other. So it's, I think it's just, it's okay to, like, get mad. But it's also being aware that you don't want to do it too often. Every now and then is fine.
To avoid the childhood trauma for our kids. Yeah. Yes. Makes sense, Dede. What's the best piece of advice you have ever received, Dede? Parenting advice.
Yes, I think the thing about receiving parenting advice is because there's so much to, take in, either from social media to podcasts. I think there's just too much information on social media. Yes, so there's so much. And also, you do also get, like a little bit of feedbacks or suggestions from your family members to relatives and everyone. But I feel like I probably haven't taken any advice on parenting.
And you're doing so good.
But I think maybe consciously I may not have taken, but I think unconsciously, of course, you do take, you do take quite a lot, what feels right for you, you do take that. But I think there was a book that I read when I was pregnant on hypnobirthing, and the writer talked about there's no right or wrong way of parenting. And the only right way is what's right for you and your child. Yeah. So that always kind of always has stayed within me. And I think that's probably, one of the things that I have received, I would say.
Okay. What do you think about the gentle parenting today?
Gentle parenting, I think I probably would want to say, like, gentle parenting is more sort of about understanding your child, understanding their behavior, but also understanding yourself as well. I always see my mom when it comes to, like, gentle parenting. I feel like she's probably, like, the prime example of gentle parenting. Because I don't know, I don't remember being, like, shouted at my mom when I was, child.
Wow, this is super nice today.
Like, I've never been, like, we've never been sort of hit by our parents or to be fair, I've always been a very emotional person. So even if my dad asked, like, how did I do an exam or what questions did you get wrong, I would start crying. So there was no way of them, even shouting or hitting, because I would cry beforehand. But so going back to my mom, she's never ever, like, shouted at us, and she would tell us things, but just in a normal conversation way. And she does that with Dija now as well. So I always see her as, like, the prime example. And I feel like I think by doing that, she hasn't done a bad job. Like, I would like to think that me and my sisters have grown out to be good citizens.
Good people.
That's all I would say about.
Oh my God. Was it with the same with your other siblings as well? Was she gentle parenting your other
Yeah.
siblings?
Like,
Okay.
honestly, she would never like shout. I think if you ask my sisters, they probably will say, like, oh, they don't remember being sort of shouted at. And yeah, and it's not even like, she read books or, she watched the videos about gentle parenting or anything
She knew
like
what was
that.
right.
But yeah, so she kind of, I think it just came from her heart, and I think that is the purest form of gentle parenting, if that's what it means. Yes.
So I want to know, Didi, what sort of parenting do you have in your household? Is it the same gentle parenting? Or do you have like mixed?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just, I find it difficult. Like, when you say gentle parenting, it's very difficult because, there are times that you have to be a little bit more strict in some areas. And there are times when you can be a little bit more like, oh, it's fine, easygoing, or, a bit chilled or relaxed about it. So, but I try and sort of, I think me and Dinesh, we try and sort of mix both. As in, like, we're, I think, a bit more chilled most of the time. And I think we don't, obviously, you try like not to shout or raise your voice. But there are times that, unfortunately, that does come out. But I think it's just being aware of your habits, of what you are doing and how that can impact on your child. I think that's it, really. I think it's just being aware of your own behavior as well and just understanding your child as to why they're doing that. And yeah,
I think, you know what? I think gentle parenting is more about yourself. The mothers and fathers is more of controlling yourself rather than controlling the kids. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because yeah, I think, like, I feel that if you are a bit calm and in a sort of good mental state, you probably are able to handle things a bit more calmly as well. Whereas, let's say, if you've had a stressful day, if you've not like, if you had a like rough day, stressful day, and then you're really tired, and you probably, the last thing you want to do is like, oh, come around here, and you might want to say, like, oh, can you do this, please? Can you do that? Don't do this, don't do that. So you start going through that direction.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's just catching yourself, like, and be, oh, actually, let me stop myself. This is nothing to do with my child. Like, there's nothing wrong in how my day has gone. I can't blame her for my own feelings, my reactions. So I think it's just knowing that.
How would you describe the journey to motherhood so far?
Interesting, interesting, exciting, adventurous. Yes, chaotic at times. Wonderful, blissful. Like, basically, I don't know if I can like describe this. I mean, you can't describe it in one word. But yeah, so wow, what a sort of it's like completely different, like new life.
It's like new every day.
Yes, every day is new, and you kind of feel like I'm a new sort of person. That's how I feel. Like, my pregnancy journey was fine. There was no any complications. My labor, I did end up with like emergency C-section.
Oh, me too today.
So that was like, I was planning for a water bath.
Yes,
I went with my lavender oils and everything. Anyway, so and then you have this postpartum period, where you're like, you are there, but what's, you have no awareness of what's going around, and sometimes you just sat there like, oh my God, what's happened, and there's a lot of things around your head. But gradually you kind of, from newborn stage to sort of toddler, and it kind of moves on. But it is beautiful. It teaches you so many things. You are learning, unlearning every day. So motherhood, is like
beautiful.
It's very empowering. It shapes you in many different ways, and I feel like, when I look back now and think, like, if I wasn't a mother, yes, I wouldn't be able to sort of experience all these things, and it's I'm just grateful that I'm going through this wonderful journey of motherhood. Yes.
So beautiful, Dede. I want to take you back to your postpartum journey as well.
Yes.
because you touched a little bit on postpartum.
Yes.
How was it for you?
It was okay. It was okay, I would say. I think because obviously, like I looked at every different kind of like birth. You have to have a birth plan.
Yeah.
And the last thing I did was I did not look at like C-section at all, because like I was like, oh, my
Same
pregnancy
goes
has
for
been
me.
so good and there's no way I would be having C-section. And then I didn't even look at it. So, having that, and you can't even laugh, like one day I was laughing and then I was crying, because you laugh and then you are in pain.
Yeah, same.
You can't sneeze,
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
like cough.
Yeah.
And then,
So hard.
so, I mean, it is a major surgery, but I think not many of us realize that, you just think that, oh, it's a C-section, it's just a way of delivering your child. But I think only someone who's kind of gone through it will understand the pain of it. And, and even after sort of like so many weeks, you have that redness, the swelling, and you're worried about infections. And then the other part of the postpartum period is the breastfeeding, you know. So I went through this journey of breastfeeding, and then you ended up with I ended up with mastitis twice and being on antibiotics.
So what's that?
So it's basically essentially like inflammation or infection of the breast tissue.
Oh, okay.
So I had that twice.
Okay.
So especially it's very common if you're breastfeeding.
Okay.
So those things, and then I kind of felt like my health probably went downhill after becoming a mom.
Okay.
But it is picking up now. Not to
Thank
scare
God.
anybody. Yes. But yeah, so it's just there were times that, despite having my families, my mother-in-law, my mom, my sisters around, there are times you still feel a bit like lonely as to and you're not sort of fully aware of what's happening to you and what's going in your head. And I would cry in everything, really. Cry in every little thing.
Do you think that's the postpartum depression?
I don't think I was in sort of that state as such, but I definitely did feel like very low, and I think like very, very, very like emotional. So I was always an emotional person, but I was very emotional. But yes, I think one thing was like basically something that drove me a little bit close, not to depression as such, but one thing was like, because I wanted to add my surname to Dija's surname.
Okay.
So because obviously in Nepalese culture, that's like no.
Yeah.
Like once you get married, you take your husband's surname, which I didn't do. And then once you have a child, then you have your husband's surname automatically. But I always wanted like, oh, I don't see the point of that. Like why
Yeah.
like I'm a mom, I give birth. Like I think I have every right to just give her a surname, and then if she wants to change it later on, she can do. I'm not forcing her to say like, oh, you must carry like that surname. You can just take and choose whichever surname. So I didn't think much about it, and then I spoke to Dinesh, and then we said, okay, let's go. And then, but when I spoke to like my families, like my in-laws, and they were a bit like,
no,
I think it was a big culture shock. So that kind of put me a little bit into like, oh my God, like so I was like literally for a couple of weeks I was like at home journaling every day, crying every day, because it just gave me that like a lot of sort of pain to say like, oh, like I'm the mom, and I should be the one making this decision, and I should be okay to do that. So that I think kind of pushed me towards like not depression as such, but definitely towards that spectrum.
You were in your grey moment.
Towards that spectrum. But at the end, I did give my surname as well.
Okay, so that's beautiful.
Yeah. So, but I think I would just suggest, if anybody's planning to do that, I think you talk to your families beforehand, just so that you can kind of like prepare them, because it's nobody's fault. If I put myself in my family's shoes, I probably would have the same reaction, because there's cultural difference, generational difference. So, but I think it's talking beforehand is always a good thing.
A good option.
Yeah, so that's one of the key thing on my postpartum period, where that made me like really low. So yeah.
I used to cry in my postpartum, the period as well. But I used to think that I cried a lot because my initial plan was to bring my mom and dad to UK, but then the visa was rejected.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they couldn't come.
Yeah. Oh.
So because of that, me and my husband, we were the only two to look after our baby. So it was so hard for me. So I used to cry every day thinking that, oh my God, my life is so hard. Why is it happening to me?
Yeah.
Like, why is my parent visas got rejected? Is it because of me? Is it because of my, karmas and everything? I used to think about that.
Yeah.
But having you said that, you used to cry a lot as well with, having so much of support and from your families, from your sisters.
Yes.
I think that's just the postpartum phase today.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're from the pregnancy period, your hormones change, and, when you go through birthing, your hormones are all over the place. So, which is why, you don't feel yourself. Your mood swings. 1 minute you're fine, smiling. Next minute you start crying.
Yeah.
And I think especially for someone like me, I've always been a very emotional person. So I cry very easily. But like, definitely, yeah. So the tearful moments, even like any sort of little bit of challenging conversation, or if like something happened to DJ, if she coughed a little bit or if she had a temperature, then I would basically cry. I was like, oh my God, why is this happening?
I used to guilt trip myself. Like, is it because of me? Am I not taking care of my baby properly? Oh my God, so many questions.
And mom guilt is a thing, I think, because I've gone through that. I feel guilt in everything. Like, but I think it's just being aware that, oh my God, I think I'm doing it a bit too much. There are times, yes, you are allowed to feel that, but if you start feeling guilt in everything, that's just going to make your your health and your well-being even worse. But yeah, I think, I'm not sure if everybody cries, but I did cry a lot.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah. Biggest lesson motherhood had taught you about yourself?
I think when I gave birth, I was like, oh my God, this is what my mom went through. Like 4 times, because we are four sisters.
Is it C-section?
No. So my mom, I'm born in Rolpa, in a very sort of remote village in Nepal. And that's where my mom gave birth. And without any help. Not going to hospital or anything. And I was just thinking, oh my God, like, how did she do this? And this is what she had sort of gone through. But equally, I also felt like, oh my God, as women, we have this superpower or superpower that, you have a baby, you grow a baby inside you, and then you give birth to a human being.
Yeah.
And I can't describe it, but I just felt like, oh, wow, like, how are we able to do it?
Yeah.
And I just felt like,
so
powerful
beautiful.
and blissful and just grateful and, very blessed to be able to bring up a child into this world, And yeah, I think that's probably... What did you ask, Rekas?
Biggest lesson motherhood has taught you about yourself?
Yeah, so I think it's just going through that phase and knowing that as women, how strong and resilient, and how sort of our body is like powerful in such way. But also I think just learning and unlearning throughout the life, enjoying like every little moment. And, you may not always have a good day, but also just learning and accepting that. I think it's mainly like accepting and just enjoying
at the same time.
Yes.
Do you think it is possible to honor independent whilst being a mother?
Yes, I think we should all be able to do so, or like at least try, because I think, yes, I'm a mom, but I'm an individual myself. I have my own wants and, things that I want to do, things I enjoy, things I love. And yes, that would include things I do with my child. That makes me happy. But there are other things that I want to do by myself, So things like, if you enjoy your work and if you want to carry on with your work, you should still be able to, do that. If that makes you feel independent. So independent can be things like, just...
going to the gym.
Yeah.
Watering the plants.
Working out or following your, the passions and like taking like short courses that you want to do. So anything that you enjoy and that you want to do, So for example, me, like I love like arranging flowers. I love flowers. I love nature. So for me, my independence is being able to do that. I want to sort of be arranging flowers, not every day, but
but you love it.
When I buy flowers like weekly, then I sort of want to take my time. I don't want to just buy a flower and put it in the vase and that's it. No. So I want to cut. I want to make it beautiful as I can make it, and just because it's very therapeutic as well. So that is some sort of independence for me. The other independence things, like I want to be able to go out for walks and enjoy the nature. That is my independence as well. So it comes in in many different forms to different women, I think. But I think you should still carry on.
You talked about courses, short-term courses. What sort of short-term courses you're talking about? Is it the poetry class?
Like 1 day classes, like once my sisters and my mom, we went, not a class as such, but you have a session where you basically paint, like you choose the pots that you want to paint, and then you basically just take your time, couple of hours painting, and then you can go for pottery classes. You have like flower arranging classes, to anything really, like even 1 day meditation. So once I did this aqua class in the gym. So I was doing exercise in the gym, but then I saw everybody around me were like a bit like elder, not elderly as such, but a bit older group. And I was like, oh, do I belong in this group? But then when we started working out like in the water, I was like, oh my God, I think... I just felt like, oh my God, this is actually quite hard. But yes, it's just doing like the small things.
Okay.
Small courses. Could be long course, short course, yes.
Okay, then let's talk about how do you consciously weave her Nepalese root into her everyday life?
So I think it's easier for me and Dinesh because we were brought up in Nepal.
Oh, both?
Yes, so both of us. Yes, so we grew up in Nepal. We were brought up in Nepal, so we can speak Nepalese, and we have quite a lot of Nepalese culture and tradition that we practice on a day-to-day basis. So for her, the first thing is like we speak to her in Nepalese. So
at home?
Yes, at home. So she talks, like she understands and she speaks Nepalese as well.
Okay.
And things like, like listening to Nepali music. So she sings some of the Nepali songs as well.
Okay.
And she loves like
What's your favorite song?
So at the moment, before it was like Kusume Rumal.
Okay.
And then now it's like Maya Pankopad. Things like she watches like Lok Dori. So
okay. So cute.
Even like Dusman Hereko Here as well. She could say, and she would actually like do this. So so it's just like the music, and then obviously we eat like dal bhat like
every day.
Not every day, but like most of the days we eat. So those things. And yeah, I think it's those like everyday things, like talking to her in Nepali, eating dal bhat, but also like basic things like when we sort of greet somebody in Nepali, like namaste, and also like in our culture we do jiu, like so basically like dogne, so just those small things.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, and then we also do take her to like Nepalese, when we go to like Nepalese events or cultural events.
Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see you taking her everywhere.
Yeah, so then she kind of has that exposure, and then we dress her in like Nepalese.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Like dresses. So yeah.
That's so cute, Didi.
Thank you.
What do you think about the Nepalese parenting style?
Yeah, so
typical.
Do you know, like, because I can't say much because, like, I feel like obviously, I didn't care much about parenting or anything before I became a mom, to be fair. So, like, in Nepal, the only thing I can remember is Nepal, yes, you are shouted at, you are beaten up, even like in school. So, if you do naughty things.
They should beat so hard, oh my God.
Yeah, even if it's just one person, like, everybody would get like stick.
Yeah.
Through. I know. So that's the environment that we were in. I think I certainly don't want to do that to Dija.
No, you were.
So but I think it's very I mean, that's me talking, you know, like 20 years ago or so, but you know, I'm sure it's all changed now. And I think it's not to say that Nepalese way is wrong way or the Western way is the right way. So there's no right, like we said earlier, there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah.
I think it's just having that little bit of balance. Like, you know, it's okay to tell off your kids because you have to, you know, because otherwise they may not know that they might just assume that, oh, it's okay for me to do. And sometimes that might take a little bit of like, you know, raising your voice a little bit. But I feel like, but yes, I wouldn't want to sort of, you know, hit or, you know, I don't know, to cause them sort of trauma as such, you know. Not that I'm saying like Nepalese parenting style is like that,
Bad.
but yeah.
Do you think that they, you know, when parents, when they hit their kids, when they hit their children, do you think it is because of the childhood trauma?
Like
Or because of how they are taught?
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, as an individual, like you're brought up in a very, everybody's brought up in different environment. You go through you know, different upbringing. Your childhood is very different, and the environment that you're surrounded in, so everything impacts on how one individual is. So I can't say like as to, you know, whether it's related to childhood trauma or anything, and it could very well be, but you know, there are other things that can affect and how you want to react. It just depends on every individual. So I'm not sure if I can sort of like
Talk about
for
it.
sure, like say like, okay, you know, it might be because of, you know, somebody's childhood trauma, or it might just be somebody's like behavior, you know, that's probably how they are, or that's probably what they believe that, you know, that is the right way.
Makes sense.
Or that might be how it works for their child as well. So
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
yes.
Okay, let's talk about this. There's a famous line by Merlin Steep. A man's job goes from sun to sun, but a woman's job is never done. What do you think about this? And do you think this is still practiced today?
Maybe to a certain extent. Like I think of my mom. So for example, like, you know, she would have her own job, but then, you know, she would do like cooking to sort of cleaning around and all that. So she does that. Whereas I think like in our fathers, they don't sort of do cookings or cleanings as such.
More regularly.
You know, they're not sort of like heavily involved as moms do. But certainly I would say that is not the case in my household at the moment. Like me. So for example, you know, and I can only talk about, you know, what I see or, you know, like my practice.
Yeah.
So for example, no, I don't think I would be able to survive with that quote. So me and Dinesh, we're very much like, we share everything. So like,
more like friends, best friends.
So, you know, like as in like we share not just communication or share the feelings, but we share the housework as well. So for example, if I'm doing the cooking, like I don't like cleaning, like washing dishes.
That is the back.
He's like the dishwasher, but I cook. And then so like, you know, so we basically just both like clean together as well. Everything really. So, you know, I come home, and if I'm feeling tired, I probably would say like, oh, can you, you know, bath like Dija, or basically we both share. And it has to like, for me, like that
it doesn't work. It is the same for me, Didi. Because, you know, Nikhil, he comes home, I know, and he like look after my baby. Yeah. He like feeds her our night feed, and then put her to sleep, and then I do my me time.
Yes. And you need that, because otherwise you just be constant, isn't it? So like you're like a machine then.
Yeah. What do you think, Didi? How can we ensure mothers are given space for rest, recognition, and self-identity?
That is a very big question, which I may not be able to answer it all.
Just opinion.
But I think just
giving mothers me time.
Yeah, I think firstly just recognizing and being aware what a mother goes through, you know, like from pregnancy to birthing to sort of bringing up a child. Yes, you know, you're not bringing up a child alone. You may have your husband or your families around, or you may not even have, you know, anyone to support. So I think it's just having that little awareness first of all, and sort of trying to see how you can support another mother. In what ways you can, you know, help. Or even just, you know, calling to say, how are you doing? Or, you know, every now and then just having that catch-up session as a friend, you know, and meeting up. And so those kind of things. And I think just offering like support and help in whatever way you can.
What do you think about doing household chores? Household chores
for
mothers.
So, for example,
as a friend,
yes. So, for example, you know, if I'm struggling, like, to be fair, okay, so I can just give you like my example as well. So, you know, like there are times I'm not a very good cleaner and I don't really like cleaning as such. But there are times when my bathroom is so dirty and then my sisters come around. So my kanti boyni, my Kalpana, she's one of the pro cleaner. So she basically, you know, cleans, and without even like me or Dinesh telling, you know, like asking her, or one day she was like, the bathroom was all nice and shiny. I was like, oh my God, who did this?
Aww.
And it was my sister. And you know, like things like that. It's just small. I mean, it's not a small thing. It's a big thing to clean somebody's bathroom. But you know, like, I was like, oh my God, you know, and then that just makes you feel like, oh, so grateful, you know, for those small things. And like, you know, so for example, when I was in my like early postpartum, my mother-in-law stayed with us, and then she did all the cooking. I didn't have to do anything, no washing, nothing. I basically, all I needed to do was just eat, breastfeed my baby, or look after my baby. So that's always, and you know, things like that. I was like, oh my God, you know, otherwise I would be
so
cooking myself. I would be doing the dishes myself. Yes, Dinesh would be helping as well. But, you know, just having her there was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely in whatever way you can support another mom, like, please do.
Please do. What role can father play in sharing the weight of mother's sacrifice?
A lot. Like, yes, they're both like distinguished roles, like mom's role and father's role, different, but they're both equally important. And father's input is, of course, yes, is needed in a way that, you know, also if father is helping like mom in household things, the child will absorb that, and you know, they will sort of feel that actually, you know, so it's not mom's job or it's not dad's job. They won't sort of have that mindset where you know, they would feel like, oh, this is
a man's job,
this is a woman's job. So you know, like, so I think it's just important in that sense as well, that we all should share that. And that's, I think, like, you know, way of parenting in some way as well. I don't know if I answered your question.
No. Yeah, you did. You did. What do you think? What do you think? Society tends to celebrate career achievement more than the everyday sacrifice mothers make at home. Why do you think that, Didi?
I think like because from like years and years, like women were meant to sort of you know be at home, look after the child,
baby,
the husbands, the families, and that's how our sort of culture and like environment was had sort of shaped us as well. And what was the question again?
Why do you think society tends to celebrate career achievement women more?
So that's why I think it's taken like so long to kind of get into the fact that okay, the women do have their role outside the house as well. They also want to do certain jobs. They also want to develop their career. So I think it's people sort of not. And also I think it's just taking that okay, woman looking after a household child is normal thing. It's just basic, like there's nothing, doesn't require any hard work or anything. It's natural. It's the norm, and that's how it should be carried on. So I think people don't see how much challenge is in there and how much hard work goes into that. unless, you are a mom yourself. And then, so when you go to work, obviously, and it's like, oh my God, she's working, she's earning money, or she's doing this and that. So then, like, people see that as a very sort of achieved, task, isn't it? So I think it's just that mindset. But hopefully, I think it's changing though.
How important it is to earn money for women?
Very important, I would say. Very important in a sense that I can only talk about myself. So I feel I feel that it's important for me. Like, I find that it gives me independence. It gives me independence. It gives me freedom to do what I want to do.
Anything,
I don't have to ask money to my husband or my parents or this, like basically relatives. So I think that just makes me feel that, okay, I may not have a lot, but I'm happy with what I have. And that I will try and sort of...
A sense of independence.
Yeah, so use that for myself or for, people around me. And so, yeah, I think it just gives me that like financial freedom for me to sort of do what I want to do with what I have.
Yeah. Do you think feminism has unintentionally shifted focus towards women succeeding in the workplace while overlooking the importance of motherhood and domestic labor?
Maybe to a certain extent, I suppose, because I think at the moment it's more about like, oh yes, you're a mom, but like she's a mom, but she's also doing this and that and that, and like, and yes, it's amazing that some people have the ability to do so, and they're happy with that, but also sometimes it can sort of impact slightly, or not negatively as such, but it can not so nice sort of impact on other women that then you might also feel that, oh my God, okay, that woman who's a mom, who's like mom of 3 children is doing this and that, and I am not doing anything, and I want to be able to do this and that. So I think and if the more and more women are doing that, and you might feel a bit left out, like out. You feel like you probably have to do something, but obviously I think again that's just sometimes I think that's also to do with like if you compare, maybe that might also be the issue. So if you stop doing that,
stop comparing yourself.
So whatever the other woman is doing, whatever the other mom is doing, just admire admire what they're doing, and just know that you don't have to do that if you don't want to do. But if you want to do that, it's
go
great.
For it.
You can go for it. Yeah.
What is feminism to you, Didi?
Oh dear. I think it's a big topic, and also it can be, I think, maybe slightly sensitive in many ways. But for me, I think it's just having my independence, really. So it's just having my independence, being able to do what I want to do, being able to sort of be open and honest, and I think that's it, really. It's not a
yeah, that's fine.
And like for example, when I said about like me wanting to not change my surname, or giving Dija my surname, it's not necessarily to do with feminism as such, but it's just,
but it's kind of having your own voice. It's just
having my like own identity, like, okay, I have been brought up as Janaki Pun, since the day I was born, and like me changing that is not going to make me love my husband like more than what I do already. Like it's not going to change anything in our relationship, basically. So, and it is not to do with feminism as such, but I think for me it's just having that the confidence, or having that sort of, I don't know, the mindset to be able to do those kind of things. I think that's
feminism to you.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Having keeping your identity.
That is feminism. Let's talk about Hemnath, Dede. Can you share the story of Hemnath, Dede? How did you begin Hemnath?
So Hemnath started in 2019.
2019, okay.
So it's basically my sister Janaki Pun and my husband Dinesh and me. So it's 3 of us.
Okay.
So to be fair, Like we did, like none of us came from business background families or, you know, like, and I was like the last person who would think about business or anything. Like honestly,
I say why?
Never ever came
Why
into my
did
head. I don't know. I feel like I was always under the impression that business is done by like rich people or business is done by people who want to make money or, you know, like, I don't know. And also like, you know, who want to sort of take advantage of other people and make money. That's what was in my like head before, you know, like in my school days. And but I never sort of thought of becoming or doing a business. So anyway, but living here in the UK, I always, you know, because I grew up in Nepal, so I have a lot more like the connection. Connection isn't like, you know, I just felt very close to Nepal. So I always wanted to do something that would sort of benefit Nepal in certain way, that would help me connect with Nepal in some way. But obviously, I didn't have any thoughts, so, you know, after that. But my sister, Ramana, she sort of, you know, used to travel to Nepal back and forth. And she was one of the main person who kind of initiated the idea. And I was like, yes, perfect. I was thinking that, but I never had any other thoughts or ideas coming in my head. So we went along with it. And then later on, my husband joined as well because he sort of liked the idea of the fact that we basically, you know, we kind of started mainly because it was a way for us to connect with Nepal, our roots, which is very important for us. And also because, you know, like growing up in Nepal, like you see like so many arts and crafts there, isn't it? And also like for us, it was mainly like to be able to showcase that Nepali craftsmanship, Nepali culture at an international level. So yeah, that's, and also, you know, obviously connecting to our roots. So yeah, so that's when we started 2019.
Okay. What role do you have in Himnat?
So Himnat, so we're all sort of co-founders, but I mainly look into sort of like, you know, packaging to inventories and customer service. So those are the things. Ramuna is, so she basically by profession, she does like arts and media. So she basically does all the content creation,
promotions and
social media, videos, photos. So that's why she's not in most of the Hemnath pictures because she's the one behind everything. So she does
so aesthetically done that it's so nice.
Yeah, I mean she's very good at what she does, and she also, because I mean, you know, she also has her own YouTube channel, and she has worked in like music videos in Nepal, and so she does a lot of things. So she's got like good experience already. So yeah.
Which is your favorite product from Himnat?
Right now, it changes.
Is it every month?
Not every month, but you know, like, to be fair, I love all the Hemnat products. I mean, there are certain products that we have tried and we say, oh, actually, we don't want to carry on with this anymore. But right now, I'm wearing this cholo top, and like, because it's obviously summer, and I love this. So very, you know, nice. Like, you know how I said about we want to connect with Nepal. Nepali roots.
I see it now.
So you know, like cholo. So obviously, like our Nepalese traditional cholo. So instead of like all making it full sleeve, we just wanted to keep it something summery and
very
simple.
Airy.
Yeah. So I think currently this is my favorite.
Okay.
So like I've been wearing it wherever I go.
I've seen some of the pictures as well.
Yes.
You know, in the, I think Hemnath page. It's very nice.
I think yes, we've got quite a few reels at the moment with this. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and I forgot. And my journal is my all-time favorite. Let's
not forget that.
Yes, it's in my bag as well, by the way.
Do you have it? Let's show, Dede. Let's show.
Oh,
yeah, let's show it.
No, I didn't bring it to show. I just normally, because I wanted to
make
some notes on it.
कस्तो देखिन्छ भनेर के.
So well, there are like different type of journals. So yeah. This is one of the journal that I've got. So this is made from Nepali Lokta paper, the cover.
Okay.
But the inside is all blank. Like basically this is like blank.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I was saying about. But
you can, you know, draw anything there.
Yes, you can just design it in your
own way. So beautiful.
Oh, actually the camera is there, so I don't know why I'm sort of going backwards.
No, you're showing me.
But yeah, but basically I kind of I'll just flip it through.
So nice.
So, and I collect my flowers as well. this £5. I love flowers. Do you see? Like, look, I've got this dry flowers.
Yeah.
Some more dry flowers. Yeah, you can do anything.
What's the design of this today? Like, you have like a thread.
So you have this. So this is the hemp thread. So you just basically wrap it around. And just put it like that.
So nice. Yeah.
That's it. But yeah. So that's it. I didn't know, like, look at this. So this was from my sisters.
Okay.
So like, I don't know how many years ago, but I still have it here with me. Anyway. You don't need to show that.
No, that's fine. Okay, Didi.
Yes.
What inspired you to personally connect with this mission? Was it because of its Nepalese root?
That is obviously one of the factors that made us, start Hemnath. So connecting with your roots. But the other thing is like the hemp being one of the most sustainable like plants. So basically it grows very easily. You don't need a lot of like, watering or fertilizers. And it actually nourishes the soil as well. But also we've been brought up in like house walls. So because I grew up in Rolpa, and I used to have my bozus, my grandmothers, who would make like oil out of it or like pickles out of otar, hemp ko, bang ko otar. So they would make otar out of it. But also they would make like basically bags or small like clothings and bags out of it as well. But at the time I didn't think much of it because you would just say like, okay, this is just my bozu doing her thing, and you don't think much of it. But as we like, I think as we started like before starting Hemnath, and that's where we're like, oh my god, this is such an amazing plant. Because and I think at the moment like hemp is quite popular because it's used very commonly in like industrial purpose anyway. But yeah, so that was one of the missions. So like just connecting with our roots, and when I say roots, like in Rolpa, like my grandmothers, and so the household, ancestral roots, not just connecting with like Nepali culture and craft, and but also it's sort of impacting positively on the environment. And also it's basically supporting our communities in Nepal.
Yeah.
So, obviously, let's say, for example, if you have a bigger company and you are outsourcing or you're doing you're doing well in the business, then that basically means that, you are able to employ a lot more people in Nepal.
Yeah.
So, so that way you're helping like communities. But and we also help collaborate with like local communities here in the UK. So
is it the Nepalese local brand?
Yes, so Nepalese or like the UK based communities as well. So
What makes Hemnath different from other handmade and sustainability brand? You have to answer this.
Yes. Oh dear. I think one of the unique thing about Hemnath is not just the sort of brand itself, but like I think me, Dinesh and Ramna, all of us, it's just a very small business, like it's just a team of 3 people. But we all are we all are very sort of simple people who find joy in everyday things, and we all love nature. So we love going out for walks and we love nature. And then, which is why, so for example, like even with creating like Hemnath products, we create like, 20 products or 50 products, because if it sells out, we'll order again. So you don't want to do like mass production and waste. And also we kind of, I think, promote like slow, sort of, taking it slowly. With, like I said, we've always been, so slow and steady, slow approach. It doesn't have to be like fast paced and increase your teams to like, hundreds or make this amount of money or that, it's never been that sort of goal. And I think for us, it's more about just going
with the flow,
slowly, gently, pausing, reflecting. And I hope that, that sort of is transpired through our like, social media pages as well. And I think it's just, we hopefully transpire that people can get some inspiration that you don't have to, when you start something like a business or any journey that you want to do, you don't have to rush through it. You don't have to kind of go like, oh my God, I'm going to, go to that level or I'm going to go make certain amount of money or this and that. You can just take your time and that's okay to do that. I think that's probably
Very
something
beautiful, Dede.
Something unique about us is like, we just, that's it. I'm not sure.
No, I started thinking about myself, okay? I started thinking about myself and ठिकै हो एकदम राम्रो कुरा गर्नुभएको क्या लाइक गो विथ योर ओन पेस डोन्ट रश होइन किनभने कतिपय छिटो गर्ने हुन्छ नि त होइन म छिटो गर्नुपर्छ यस्तो छिटो गर्नुपर्छ नत्र यस्तो हुन्छ भन्ने हुन्छ नि त कति मान्छेको माइन्डमा आफ्नो टाइम लिएर आफ्नै समयमा हिँड्यो भने लाइक ओभरवेलमिङ सिचुएसन्सहरू हुँदैन होइन आफ्नै डिफ्रेन्ट क्रिएटिभ आइडियाजहरू आउँछ रस गर्दाखेरि आउँदैन त्यो.
And we also have our own other jobs that we do, and it's okay to kind of do other things apart from like Hemnath as well. So we have that freedom. We have given that freedom to each other that like nobody's sort of in under the contract that you should not do this and that whilst you're doing Hemnath. Like we have that freedom to enjoy life. To be able to do other things that you love. Like for example, my sister, she does like potteries and and she makes like rings and so things like she does that. So it's all.
Does she has her own business as well?
Yeah. So like when I say business, yeah. So she's got her Etsy pages where she sells her potteries and so. So like that's what I think life is all about. It's just slowing down and not rushing too much or just because you are doing a business.
This is very nice. किनभने मलाई कस्तो सोचमा पारे के यो तपाईको कुराले होइन एकदम ठिक भन्नुभयो के. Are there any exciting collaboration we can look forward to for Himnat?
At the moment, there's no any exciting collaboration as such. So about collaboration, we've always partnered with Eden projects. So Eden Reforestation Project. So they basically plant like trees all over the world, like including Nepal as well.
Okay.
So so when you buy our product, any product. If you buy one of our products, then you'll be helping Eden Project to plant like 3 trees.
Wow.
So that's basically another environmental impact that we've always sort of had this ever since we started Hemnath. So that's I think that's one sort of unique thing about Hemnath as well. But yes, I think upcoming projects we probably will be just focusing on like the Christmas time period because like in Nepal, so with the holidays, like Dasai Tihar coming up, so you'll be busy. So we're just kind of focusing on that, but no any like big collaborations or anything as such. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful, Dede. मलाई त एकदम राम्रो लाग्यो. कस्तो तपाईले यो भन्दाखेरि के लाइक मैले दिनेश दाइको पनि पेजमा देखेको थिएँ के लाइक एटन खै के होइन त्यो प्रोजेक्टको मलाई कस्तो कनेक्टेड फिल भएको के हेमनाथसँग. इट मेक्स यु फिल कनेक्टेड के वन वे के कस्तो राम्रो लाग्यो क्या मलाई त्यो कुरा.
Thank you, Disha. That's very kind of you.
What's the deeper purpose of Hemnath, Dede?
I think like we said about like I mentioned earlier about just taking your time and just slowing down, taking a slow approach, pausing, reflecting. But also one of the purpose of Hemnath is that we hope that people will sort of shop consciously, buy things that you really need to, and also when you buy certain products, I think just doing a little bit of research and knowing that where you are buying from, and who is it making difference to. So those kind of things, but also going out in the nature, because only that way then you will fall in love with nature. If you don't go out, you won't get to know the benefits of nature. So if you go out in nature, fall in love with nature, then you will nurture and protect the mother nature. And that is what Hemnath is all about. It's just living, finding joy in every moment, every little smallest things on sort of your day-to-day basis, and connecting with nature, connecting with your roots, going deeper down within yourself, reflecting. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I hope my co-founders
say the same thing.
will say this.
You know, when you talked about Himnat, मलाई कस्तो फिल भयो भने नि मलाई कस्तो नेचर टाइपको फिल भयो क्या लाइक नेचरको पनि आफ्नो सिजन हुन्छ नि त लाइक अटममा लाइक समरमा आफ्नै टाइममा आउँछ समर आफ्नै टाइममा अटम आउँछ आफ्नै टाइममा विन्टर आउँछ त्यस्तो फिल भयो क्या हेमनाथको चाहिँ फिल भयो क्या लाइक एक्ज्याक्टली त्यो फिल भयो क्या like आफ्नै टाइममा
हामीलाई त्यस्तो केही रसै छैन त वी वान्ट टु गेट हियर वी वान्ट टु डु दिस त्यही भएर त उहिलेदेखि हामी स्टिल तिनजना sometimes there are times when you are like coming home and then like 12 बजीतिर प्याक गर्नुपर्छ त्यस्तोहरू क्या and it's like oh my god the feel हुन्छ नि but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of today's session. Thank you so much, Didi, for coming here and giving out so many inspiration messages. And I tend to think myself like when you talked about slowing down, I thought of myself like am I rushing too much hard or am I rushing too fast? So it really made me think about what I am doing with my life, and I think I'm gonna slow a bit down. Yeah, so thank you so much for giving so much.
No, thank you so much, Diksha. Yeah. Like I'm honestly grateful to be here and then finally get to know you and then have this chat and so I'm very grateful. But I like initially when I saw your Instagram message of invitation for this podcast, I was a bit like oh my god, like I'm not sure like what to talk about and if I would be adding any value to,
of course you did,
to your audiences, to yourself. And also like I kind of felt like I'm not an expert in any field, so no. I was just a bit
Don't
like
say that.
But I strongly felt like oh my god, like Diksha is doing amazing as a new mom. Like her daughter is only like what like 12, like a year and 2 months probably, isn't it? And you've started this, and like I was just like oh my god, even if I don't add any value I want to be there to like just support another young new mom who is following her passion or journey. And I absolutely admire your strength and your courage for doing this, and I honestly wish you all the best, Diksha. So
thank you so much.
Carry on.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.